Making headlines this hour, President says declarations such as the New York Declaration on the peaceful settlement of the question of Palestine and the implementation of the two-state solution are vital to strengthening international consensus and ensuring accountability for the rights of the Palestinian people. Attorney General Ahmad Usham says that the amendments proposed by the government for the Media Regulation Bill are designed to protect both media freedom and the rights of the public. The Ministry of Economic Development and Trade reveals more than 260 Maldivian entrepreneurs have registered for an upcoming online workshop in collaboration with e-commerce giant Alibaba. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Inha Maroof. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu says declarations such as the New York Declaration on the peaceful settlement of the question of Palestine and the implementation of the two-state solution are vital to strengthening international consensus and enduring accountability for the rights of the Palestinian people.
In a post shared on his official X account, President Muizzu welcomed the United Nations General Assembly's endorsement of the New York Declaration, reiterating the Maldives' support for the declaration and its call for collective international action. He stressed that such efforts are crucial for strengthening global consensus and safeguarding the rights of the Palestinian people. The president further underscored that the Maldives continues to advocate for an independent and sovereign state of Palestine based on the pre-1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. The Maldives remains committed to working with the international community towards a two-state solution and consistently voices solidarity with the Palestinian cause.
The Maldives expresses full support for the endorsement of the New York Declaration on the peaceful settlement of the question of Palestine and the implementation of the two-state solution. The resolution endorsing the declaration was adopted at the second plenary meeting of the 80th session of the UN General Assembly.
The resolution was passed by the General Assembly with 142 votes in favor, 10 against, and 12 abstentions. This declaration is the outcome document of the high-level international conference for the peaceful settlement of the question of Palestine and the implementation of the two-state solution, co-chaired by the governments of France and Saudi Arabia and held at the United Nations from the 28th to the 30th of July 2025. The declaration conveys a strong commitment to a just and lasting resolution of the Palestinian conflict with a clear vision for the establishment of an independent, sovereign, economically viable and democratic Palestinian state. It reinforces the principles of international law, including respect for territorial integrity, human rights, and the right to self-determination. The Maldives reaffirms its commitment to an independent and sovereign state of Palestine based on the pre-1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital in accordance with the relevant United Nations resolutions and international law.
Attorney General Ahmad Usham says that the amendments proposed by the government for the Media Regulation Bill are designed to protect both media freedom and the rights of the public. The Attorney General made the remarks in a social media post responding to concerns raised by a member of the public, who argued that research as well as stakeholder and expert input were essential before drafting a bill. The commenter also noted that the proposed legislation contained a number of ambiguous provisions. In his response, Usham acknowledged shortcomings in the bill initially submitted to the Parliament. He stressed that this was the reason the government reviewed the draft and submitted amendments. The Attorney General emphasized that stakeholder input and consultation are vital during the committee stage of parliamentary review. He added that the government's amendments clarify vague terminology, including definitions related to electronic media. Usham said the government's intention in introducing the amendments was to ensure that there is no unnecessary intrusion in media while ensuring the public is protected from harm and disinformation. He further noted that he believes that the bill establishes broad and necessary principles to address pressing issues of accountability, misinformation, and the responsible handling of information in the media space. These challenges, he said, are real and cannot be ignored, adding that he believes having a legislative foundation is a starting point. The Ministry of Economic Development and Trade reveals more than 260 Maldivian entrepreneurs have registered for an upcoming online workshop in collaboration with e-commerce giant Alibaba. The initiative aims to equip local businesses with the knowledge and tools to leverage international online platforms for global market access. The workshop, scheduled for 16 September, will take place at the Barcelos Nasandura Hotel in Male, allowing provincial entrepreneurs to participate online. This collaboration with world-renowned e-commerce platforms is a significant step towards fulfilling the government's commitment to facilitating online business opportunities abroad. Minister of State for Economic Development and Trade Abdullah Siaz underscored the importance of this opportunity for Maldivian businesses, noting that listing on Alibaba.com allows them to sell their products worldwide. The government has prioritized providing Maldivians with access to the world's most widely used e-commerce platforms, with the ministry spearheading efforts to realize this goal. This workshop aligns with the government's broader objective of enabling Maldivian businesses to thrive in the global digital economy. By providing access to such platforms, the administration aims to diversify the economy and expand trade opportunities for local businesses. The Addu City Council is set to open a new art gallery within the historic Bon Doge building in Maradu, aiming to showcase the city's rich history, culture, and traditional economy. Addu City Council is calling on local artists to submit paintings that capture the essence of the city's heritage. Addu City Mayor Ali Nizar announced the project to PSM News, emphasizing the gallery's dual purpose, promoting tourism and educating visitors and residents about the city's unique past. The initiative seeks to bring life to one of the country's most significant historical buildings while generating income for the City Council. The gallery's location, the Bon Doge building, has a notable history. Constructed in 1941 during World War II, it was originally built for use by British soldiers stationed in Addu. Over the years, the building has served various functions, including a theatre, before becoming an administrative building. Mayor Nizar described the Bon Doge as the most complete historical building in the country and assured that all necessary facilities are being arranged for the art gallery. The council is extending an invitation to talented artists to contribute their work to the gallery's inaugural collection. The main theme for submissions is history, culture, and antiquated labor and economy of Addu City. This focus is designed to highlight the unique traditions, trades, and cultural narratives of the region through artistic expression. In addition to the art gallery, Mayor Nizar revealed that a separate museum is also under construction, though the work is not yet complete. This museum will further expand the city's efforts to preserve and celebrate its heritage, creating a more comprehensive cultural hub for visitors. Nestlé Investors calls for Chairman Paul Bulk to step down over the departure of a second chief executive in just over a year. Shareholders told the dismissal of former chief executive Laurent Verxe and the way investigations into his conduct were handled had exacerbated their concerns over governance at Nestlé and led them to question Bulk's decision-making. Nestlé did not immediately respond to a media request for comment. The Swiss food giant abruptly dismissed Verxe at the beginning of September for failing to disclose a romantic relationship with a subordinate. Verxe's removal came a year after predecessor Schneider suddenly departed and 2.5 months after Bulk said he would step down next year. A Nestlé spokesperson told the Financial Times the two CEO departures were unrelated and that Verxe's conduct was a clear breach of its code of conduct. Bulk, a 70-year-old Belgian and Swiss national who has been chairman of the board since April 2017, joined Nestlé in 1979 and served as the company's CEO from 2008 to 2016. Support for bulk has been ebbing away due to doubts about Nestlé's recovery after the pandemic, investors told media in July, with sales volumes at the world's largest maker of packaged food flagging in 2023 as it increased prices to offset rising raw material costs. In April, Bulk was re-elected with 84.8% of the vote, a substantial drop from the nearly 96% he received in 2017. The United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly votes to endorse a declaration outlining tangible, time-bound and irreversible steps towards a two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians ahead of a meeting of world leaders. The 7-page declaration is the result of an international conference at the UN in July, hosted by Saudi Arabia and France on the decades-long conflict. The United States and Israel boycotted the event. A resolution endorsing the declaration received 142 votes in favor and 10 against, while 12 countries abstained.
I want to thank the overwhelming majority of nations that voted for the endorsement of this declaration, endorsement of the plan for peace, endorsement for the details of that plan in the declaration and in the annex, and the yearning of almost everyone, the international community, to open the door for the option of peace.
The vote comes ahead of a meeting of world leaders on September 22nd on the sidelines of the high-level UN General Assembly, where Britain, France, Canada, Australia and Belgium are expected to formally recognize a Palestinian state.
Draft Resolution A/80/L1/Revision 1 is adopted.
The resolution also condemns the attacks by Israel against civilians and civilian infrastructure in Gaza, siege and starvation, which have resulted in a devastating humanitarian catastrophe and protection crisis. NATO announces plans to beef up the defense of Europe's eastern flank 2 days after Poland shot down drones that had violated its airspace in the first known action of its kind by a member of the Western Alliance during Russia's war in Ukraine. Warsaw has portrayed the drone incursions as an attempt by Russia to test the capabilities of Poland and NATO to respond. Earlier on 12 September, it rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's suggestion that the incursions could have been a mistake.
What happened on Wednesday was not an isolated incident. Russia's recklessness in the air along our eastern flank is increasing in frequency. We have seen drones violate our airspace in Romania, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. Whether intentional or not, it is dangerous and unacceptable.
Russia said its forces had been attacking Ukraine at the time of the drone incursions and that it had not intended to hit any targets in Poland. The mission, which began on the evening of 12 September, will involve a range of assets integrating air and ground bases.
I have issued the order tonight for Eastern Sentry to begin. The order went out as this press conference began, and so operations are being brought together immediately underneath my authorities as SACEUR.
Rutte added, allies including Denmark, France, Britain and Germany have so far committed to the mission, with others set to join. The United Nations Security Council was set to meet on Friday at Poland's request to discuss the incident. Manager Ruben Amorim says Manchester United's Altay Bayındır keeps his place in goal for Sunday's derby at Manchester City ahead of new signing Sen Lammens. United's former first-choice goalkeeper Andre Onana, who endured a turbulent spell at Old Trafford, completed a loan move to Turkish side Trabzonspor. The deal followed United's deadline day signing of Lemons, 23, from Royal Antwerp for $24.64 million.
We are really pleased. He's a goalkeeper with a lot of potential. I know that we are in the moment that the goalkeeper needs to be really strong and have a lot of experience. But we are also in the moment that we have to look at the present, but also with a focus on the future. So it's a little bit both. A guy with a great potential, that is one more option to play, and it will be ready.
Turkey international Bayındır, 27, has started all three of United's Premier League games this season, while the 29-year-old Onana only played once. In United's shock second-round League Cup loss to fourth-tier Grimsby Town in a penalty shootout after the sides drew 2-2. Onana was at fault for Grimsby's 2 goals. During United's league opener against visitors Arsenal, Bayındır misjudged Declan Rice's 13th-minute corner, palming it into the line for Ricardo Calafiori to head in.
It's a different league, it's a different country, different trainings, different ball. So we'll try to maintain that, and they will fight for the position. So for me, for this game, it's clear Altay will start.
Amorim also explained why United chose Lemons over Aston Villa's Emi Martinez. Amorim confirmed new signing Matheus Cunha, who also played all 4 games in all competitions for United, will miss the derby through injury, as will Mason Mount and Diogo Dalot. Argentine researchers unveils a new species of carnivorous crocodile from southern Patagonia, a robust, mostly terrestrial predator that lived about 70 million years ago and likely hunted small to medium-sized dinosaurs. Named Costensúchus atrox, the animal belonged to the extinct Parasauridae family and was discovered near El Calafate in Santa Cruz province by a team led by paleontologists Fernando Novas and Diego Pol in collaboration with Japanese researchers. The researchers said the specimen includes an exceptionally preserved and nearly complete skull approximately 50 centimeters, 20 inches long, along with much of the skeleton. He described it as a predator with enormous teeth and said the team assumes it preyed on dinosaurs. With a skull nearly 50 centimeters long and a total body length exceeding 10 feet, Costensúchus was likely an apex predator capable of taking a wide range of prey. Its skull was unusually short, broad and robust compared to close relatives. The snout was wide and heavily built, bearing more than 50 sharp teeth, some over 2 inches long, with serrated, blade-like edges adapted for slicing through muscle tissue. A deep lower jaw indicates powerful bite muscles, a feature the authors say supports its role as a dominant predator in the late Cretaceous Patagonia. Novas contrasted Costensúchus with modern aquatic crocodilians, noting the high skull, side-facing eyes, and forward-oriented nostrils indicate a more terrestrial lifestyle. Researchers say the discovery adds to evidence that crocodiles in Cretaceous South America filled a wide range of ecological niches before the mass extinction 66 million years ago that wiped out non-avian dinosaurs and many marine animals. And that's all we have for now. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a pleasant day ahead.